Welcome to Snooze Worthy, a podcast by Parenting Practice of Colorado, your window into the world of pediatric sleep, where we explore the science behind sweet dreams, effective sleep teaching techniques, and all the intriguing nuances of your child's slumber. I'm your host, Lindsay Birchfield.
And I'm Paige Legault. Together, we're here to guide you through the labyrinth of parenting, offering insights, strategies, and science-backed advice to make parenting during those early childhood years not just manageable, but truly memorable.
As pediatric sleep specialists, we've seen the transformational power of sleep in countless families.
And because parenting is a journey, we won't stop at sleep. We'll provide you with valuable parenting tips for every aspect of early childhood, from managing tantrums to fostering creativity and hitting those all-important milestones.
So whether you're a seasoned parent in need of a sleep overhaul or a new parent preparing for the joys and challenges of early childhood, Snooze Worthy is your trusted resource. Join us as we unravel the science of sleep, share practical advice, and make parenting truly snooze-worthy.
Hi, and welcome to Snooze Worthy. I'm Paige Legault, your co-host, and I'm here with Lindsay Birchfield.
Hi, everyone. We are so excited to kick off our episode today. We're going to be discussing a very timely topic, our favorite, daylight savings, and how we can adjust when we fall back in November.
Yep. That's right. So the time change can throw off everyone's schedule, whether you're a little baby or you're 99 years old. It's a pain for all of us. So we're going to dive into how we can help our children adjust as smoothly as possible.
So to start, let's just talk a little bit about why the time change can be so disruptive. Our bodies operate on a circadian rhythm, and we talk a lot about this here at Snooze Worthy. And the circadian rhythm is influenced, to be honest, by light and darkness. That's how our body essentially helps us to establish that. And when we suddenly shift the clock, so going forward or going back, depending on if it is spring forward or fall back, it can confuse our internal clock. And especially for children where just 30 minutes of time change can really mess up their days, right? If you have a little one, you know what that can do. They really thrive on routine. And so this disruption of an hour can be fairly intense for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's two schools of thought on helping your child adjust to the new time. The first is to gradually adjust your child's bedtime leading up to the time change. So a week before, you want to start moving bedtime 10 to 15 minutes later each night. And we find that this works really well for little babies, probably between 4 months and a year, ideally.
And then the second, which is what I actually prefer, what we both do with our family. Yeah. The second is to just ignore the time change, which I would love to just ignore in general, but it still happens for most of us. So what you do is you just ignore the time change until the first morning that you wake up. And once you wake up, just have a nice Sunday morning, do what you normally do. And then a little bit into it, maybe an hour and a half, you can change and you can move that clock backwards. And then from there, you're just going to adjust schedules for naps and nights by 30 minutes. Now, Paige did mention the 15-minute increment move. If you do have a baby, you can use this. Let's wait until the daylight savings happens and then do an adjustment of the 15 minutes every single day for 4 days until you get back for the baby age range. But if you do have a toddler, a preschooler, a child, we really prefer this method, which is called split the difference. And so again, you're just going to go through your morning routine. You're going to move that clock back an hour. And then for naps and nights, you're just going to adjust by 30 minutes. So if your child typically goes to bed at 7, that is now going to feel like 6 to your child. So because of that, we're going to do a 6:30 bedtime. So you would do a 6:30 bedtime. You would do that for 3 days. And then on that fourth night, you're going to move back to your typical 7 p.m. bedtime. And usually by that third night, your child's circadian rhythm, internal clock is catching up and you can get back to what you were doing before.
100%. It's my favorite.
Yes, exactly.
Another tip is to maintain a consistent routine, which again, we're going to say this a lot on this podcast. We love routine, but you want to keep the same bedtime rituals such as your bath time, reading books, getting dressed, singing your lullabies to give your child all of those same cues. Bedtime is here, sleep is on its way, even though the clocks are a little bit different.
And then don't forget the importance of light exposure. So, what I said at the top of this is that your circadian rhythm is determined by light and darkness. So, to help with that, if you have a lot of nice light exposure during the day, that's going to help your body get set back up for this new time change. And then in the evenings, what you want to do is you want to keep lights dim and avoid screens an hour before bed to make sure that your body is preparing for sleep. And then in the mornings, open those curtains, let natural light in. And all of this is going to really help reset your internal clock. And the other fun thing is go outside in the morning and actually get natural light. That's one of the
Mhm.
most impactful things that you can do. Yes, it's great to open up the curtains and to let that light in, but if you can actually get outside in real sunshine, natural early morning light, it's a wonderful way to get everything back on track.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, if your child is particularly sensitive to changes, just be patient with them, especially if they are under the age of 3. That's where we see the biggest impact on them. It might take a few days or even a week for them to fully adjust. Stick to your routine, give them plenty of reassurance and grace. And then, if after 2 weeks you've done everything, they're still not quite adjusted, that's when you should reach out for additional support to either sleep specialists like ourselves, your pediatrician can also help a little bit. But if they're not on it in 2 weeks, something else is probably going on.
Absolutely. Just great advice, Paige. And also remember that every child is different. So, what works for your oldest might not work for your youngest, or vice versa. So, sometimes you just have to be flexible and find works best for your family. I mean, personally, for me, Riley, my oldest, she's a little bit more sensitive to those changes. It takes
Yeah.
her a bit more time to get in aligned. She wakes up a little bit earlier or later, depending on if we're falling back or springing forward. Whereas my Jackie boy, he just kind of fits right in. He's
Goes with
good
the
to
flow.
go. Yep, that first day. So again, every family, it may look a little bit different. You might have to do different things to meet each of your child's needs.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for tuning in for our episode today on falling back for daylight savings time here at Snooze Worthy. We hope that these tips help make the transition for all of you a little bit easier, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome. And join us next time when we're going to be talking about traveling over the holidays with your children. We absolutely love this topic.
Yeah.
It's one of the best. And I do think that our tips and tricks around traveling can make your experience so much better. So until
Absolutely.
then, sleep well.
Bye.